Sunlight dappled the warm water as Gray flexed his powerful fins, gliding to a stop in a thick kelp bed. He used to hide in this patch of green greeny, unseen when he was smaller, but now his tail poked out. Gray made sure it waved back and forth with the warm tide so it wouldn't give him away. He would have been spotted going to the Shiver's main hunting grounds, so he had snuck away in the opposite direction toward the lagoon. Gray was a growing fish, but the council and his mom Sandy wouldn't let him hunt unsupervised. That was just unfair. He was 12 years old. He was practically adult for any shark kind. Almost, anyway. Even though his name was Gray, he was more bluish on his upper half and white on the bottom, with what he thought was a really cool stripe down each of his enormous flanks. "Everyone's jealous," he muttered. Apparently Gray was big for a reef shark, and ever since he grew larger than Atlas, the old bull shark who was Coral Shiver's leader, every fin watched him with a mixture of curiosity and fear. Like I'm a freak or something, he thought. Gray pushed that from his mind and concentrated on the task at hand. He'd get into trouble for sure if the council or his mom found out he was this far away from the home waters. And so near the lagoon, Gray thought. But this is where the tasty, tasty lobsters hang out. He gnashed his rows of razor-sharp teeth, imagining the satisfying crunch of a nice, plump shell head. The lobster that Gray was hunting wandered into the next kelp bed over, which was even thicker than where Gray was hiding now, but no problem. Many shark kind didn't like swimming through Greeny because they were afraid they would get tangled, but not Gray. He swam where he wanted, when he wanted, and today that happened to be in a kelp bed. Now where was that lobster? Being such a great hunter, Gray was positive the dumb shellhead didn't have a clue that certain doom was coming for it. But suddenly his prey jetted forward, abandoning all stealth and gaining speed. The lobster somehow sensed his presence and made a break for the lagoon where Gray couldn't swim safely anymore, not since his growth spurt. This was a little annoying. Gray used the currents to mask his stalking to perfection. Or not. How did this little krill face know he was watching? The lobster whizzed toward the mouth of the lagoon, where the land sharks had built some sort of floating home. Gray's mom would be really angry if she found out he was this close to the lagoon, but he wasn't about to be seen by anyone except the lobster. "An old lobby will keep my secret once he's safely in my belly," Gray said out loud as he gained speed. "What you doing, Gray?" asked Barkley the dogfish, disrupting Gray's concentration and even startling him a bit. Just a bit, though. "Can't you see I'm busy?" Barkley could be very annoying, but still he was Gray's friend and one of the few fish that made him laugh. He was also one of the few reef mates that would still spend time with Gray after his enormous growth spurt the previous year. Most of his old friends got very jumpy when he was around. Gray wondered why that was for a moment, but then set about leaving Barkley in his wake. "Trying to catch that lobster, huh? Listen to your older and wiser friend. This isn't a good idea." Barkley was born a month before Gray and brought that fact up whenever he could. "I'm not taking a survey about what you think," Gray groused. "Hey, I just don't want to see you with your head stuck in a bucket again." The dogfish grinned, now swimming upside down and eye to eye with Gray. The memory still stung. When Gray was a pup, he explored an ancient wreck of a land shark boat, a galleon, and got his head stuck in a bucket, which was something humans used to carry stuff around in. It had been wedged on so tight Prime Minister Shocks needed to ask 3 of the Octos from the Octopus clan to pull the thing off. Gray was called Buckethead that entire summer. He pretended not to hear Barkley's teasing and increased his speed, but his friend was annoyingly fast for a dogfish and kept pace. "Seriously, Gray, Miss Lamprey hunts around here before class. If she sees you, she'll tell your mom for sure," Barkley warned.